No ice this morning. It's 35, not 25. Yay! And here's to the first day of driving Ruby and not having any more autopilot problems. Everybody's back here this morning doing good. Hey, Stripe. My warm garage sleeper you. Good morning. Wow, it's almost daylight out there. I'm running about 5 minutes behind. I need to kick into higher gear. Don and I are going to get to go on our walk today. We missed yesterday. I hated it. It is what it is, though. Sometimes life happens. Good morning, Ruby. Well, Don didn't tell me I had an update this morning. Of course, I won't be able to. It says 2022.36.20. So when I get home this morning, we'll put that on. Let me go see if it's on Jules and I'll start it. Yesterday, the sign coming southbound the other direction still said traffic change 1122. It has not been changed this morning. Doesn't mean they won't still change it sometime today. Obviously, Ruby's been really slow on FSD beta to take off at green lights the last night and this morning. I don't know. Last night the light changed and I knew it changed and I was watching her and the guy behind me honked at me 3 times in the span, you know, boom, boom, boom. It's like, God, just take a chill pill. I'm giving the car a chance to go. Anyway, the other side's not open yet. We'll see if they get it open today. I'll have to be watching what's going on traffic-wise and see if I need to take alternate routes. But the only other time I guess we'll really be on it today is this afternoon coming out of Raleigh. Around 1:30 probably. So I guess coming back home this morning and then this afternoon when I go inbound later on, I'll be headed to the chiropractor and up Highway 55 in Apex, Holly Springs, and I won't be over here. Okay, Ruby, you can slow a little bit. Honest, the light's red up there and those are brake lights, and you know, save the brakes, girl, save the brakes. The city just looks really dark this morning even though the sun's out. A couple of people were uncomfortably close to my bumper this morning. So I'm glad to be out of traffic with them. And we're going to be just barely on time. There's a lot of paint on the sidewalk on all the corners of this intersection. That worries me. I'm sure you can understand why. Could they wait till the end of the school year? Please? So I had autopilot the whole way in this morning, and as you guys know, I'm mostly using it on the highway. But I have had a couple of instances last night and this morning where I was at a green light and the light turned green and she did not take off very quick at all. As a matter of fact, because I had people behind me, I ended up putting my foot on the accelerator to get her to move. So I don't even know if she was going to move. It was that long of a hesitation. So I'm going to have to pay better attention. I did confirm that Jules and Ruby are still on the same release, i.e. they didn't install a release yesterday at Tesla that I didn't know about that I could attribute the difference in behavior to. So Ruby is waiting. That release number, Don looked it up for me. It is 3.1, 2022.3.1 going on this morning. Actually, excuse me, it's 10.69.3.1. It's 2022.36.20. So not V11, but still, that's good. Don's also messaged me. This is really upsetting news. You know, a child being killed during the Raleigh Christmas parade was a devastating and horrible tragedy for the family and the city, who all mourns with the family. But you know, a lot of details are starting to leak out, and initial details were the brakes failed and you could tell the truck was modified and it was a young guy driving it. and maybe it was just a horrible mistake, until they found that he had a non-permitted concealed gun in his car, and you have to be 21 and he was only 20. But Don was reading to me this morning, it gets worse, unfortunately. He says, FYI, the 20-year-old driving the truck in the parade had 4+ citations of improper vehicle equipment, speeding, and illegal exhaust, etc. And Don says the kid worked on, his job was safety systems, car safety systems, and his last ticket was October 30th, so only 3 weeks ago. So that is, says he used to compete in dance competitions for the dance group, so he was tied to the dance company that he was driving the float for. I mean, it's still a horrible mistake, but you can't go around breaking the law in multiple ways without some penalty. I hate to see a young life destroyed, but that family's life is destroyed. Yeah, a series of bad choices on his part, for sure. And he definitely shouldn't be walking around thinking he's above the law. But the one thing I will say is, now that we know a little bit more detail, maybe the remediation on vehicles in the parade and et cetera, is the people have to provide their driver's license, and the DMV, if they have any citations within the last year, they're not eligible to drive a float. And they have to have a current valid, you know, safety inspection for the vehicle. It has to have passed recent inspection or another inspection to be in the float. I know I wanted to drive Ruby in the Fuquay parade one year, and it was over, I want to say it was a $180 fee, and I don't know what that was paying for. But if we're going to have these really stout fees to drive in the parade, then some of that ought to go to ensuring safety. So, but yeah, I think a driver's license check, no recent citations within the last year for any driving infractions or whatever. I mean, basically, you better have a good safety score, or you ain't getting behind the wheel in the parade. And obviously this was more about a mechanical failure, but, you know, modified. Apparently it probably had failed inspection. It had illegal exhaust and stuff on it. So, yeah, just real sad. It's such a senseless tragedy. I'm headed to the house now. We got to get our walk in so I can get out the door to the chiropractor and not be running, you know, late. I'm sure I'll be running within 3 minutes like most days. I'm pulled over here in Garner after yet another instance of Ruby not doing what I thought she should be doing, but at least it's not a problem and I know what's wrong now. Let me put myself in park. The confusing thing for me is that the expanded full self-driving visualization stays on, even though the calibration of the cameras caused the full self-driving beta itself. I thought traffic and stoplight sign control beta was off a minute ago also, but maybe not. Anyway, this needs to obviously be on. And so she's not doing what I was expecting her to do sometimes because it was off. Autopilot was on. I really thought a second ago before I started filming that wasn't hit either. But anyway, I bet she starts acting like I expect her to now, because I just had another instance where for a traffic light she wasn't starting to go forward again. And so now I understand. My mistake. Alright, let's try this again. But let me tell you, with the visualization on but the beta not engaged, that was a little confusing because it just sort of implied visually that it was engaged. And I knew better from the last time Ruby was in service, but you know, getting out of your car and getting back in your car doesn't bring up the, you know, warning chime. You need to go put your, you know, control your selections back where they were before service, before your car went into service. It just doesn't, there's just no loud chime ringing there. So let my experience keep you from getting fooled. Yeah, and just to say what it was, traffic light and stop sign control beta was on, but it was grayed out for a minute because I was in drive and not park when I first looked at it. And it's one of those things that you can't change while you're driving. So that clears that up. It really was on. Starting 11:22, new traffic pattern. They told us to move right. The left lane is closed. I don't know if that's true right this second or about to be true. But this could be the last time on this outer loop here. I hit Ruby down to 45. She was going to take that curve too quick and go over the line. I didn't want that. I thought this curve through here all along should have lowered the speed, but they didn't really ask me. I don't see asphalt trucks lined up yet. It's plenty warm out there. But we'll see. Well, there's the town street cleaner. And yeah, that is a valid 15-minute parking space there for the Tesla. I want to install now, although 9 o'clock is only 15 minutes away. That's still, yeah. All right, let's exit. I saw Marty, who's in the Cat Hotel, Stripe, who came from the carport and has now moved on. And Tux, who wants lots and lots and lots of attention while I was home. We're headed on our walk now. Saw the picture of Jay Leno leaving the hospital. Woohoo! Don and I were wishing there was a little more sun. Not so much for the heat, it's just cheerier when you're out here walking if it's sunny. Well, the grass does need mowed, and we do have one guy here on a mower. Although he's on the part of the grass where they didn't sow new grass. And I don't know, it's not quite as tall over there, but there's probably leaves. Crunch up some leaves. So 10.69.3.1 went on. Also 2022.36.20. Yeah, but that's not new. So supercharger, Tesla app. So what is that? View additional media player details and the ETA to a destination when a route is active from the Tesla mobile app with version 4.13.0. So you'd have to update the app. Supercharger additional details. Historical site occupancy in addition to the associated charging fees when available. To view these details, tap on any supercharger pin that is in the vicinity of your vehicle. Car left open notifications when the doors have accidentally been unlocked. I've already seen that message today because my key fob was in the car. So, alright, and new language support. Lithuanian. I'm sure there's more in Jules. I'm sure there are things Ruby didn't get that Jules did. And I do need to scoot before I make myself late, but if let's see what it said about nearby superchargers. This is the Raleigh supercharger. And it is showing busy times for that supercharger, so there's a graph there now that wasn't there before. 13 stalls available out of 24, so it's pretty busy. And I don't see idle fees up to $1 a minute. It's 21 miles away. I don't see it telling me what I would pay at that supercharger, however. Let's just look at one more. This is the new Cary one out by I-40 and Harrison Avenue, exit 287. So, same sort of thing. 9 stalls available out of 12. It's not anywhere near as busy as North Hills, the one we just looked at. And it also doesn't tell me charging. So I don't know. I still don't see any information that tells me the charging, the cost, the amount for per kilowatt hour that it would cost me if I were to go there versus somewhere else. I don't think anything happens if you click on that, but I just wanted to make sure. I confirmed that the Tesla app on my iPhone is at 4.14.4. If you'll remember, when I read it was 4.14.3 was the requirement to be able to do the media player and to see the time to destination. And I went in and I took a screenshot, which I'll put up here. And you can see my time to destination's 10:57 a.m. and you can see that I had media player control. So I confirmed those two features in the app. Well, it's days like this when I think the sooner we get full self-driving figured out, the better. I was on autopilot here in the middle lane, a couple miles over the speed limit, minding my own business, paying attention, and I was coming up on a dump truck and there was a guy to my left, so it wasn't super convenient to signal and move over and give the dump truck an extra lane. But as I was coming up beside the dump truck, he came over the line into my lane. And you know, this happens, God, I can't even tell you how many times a day people are coming into my lane. And I braked, got left, went past him, and he was on his phone. So he drifted across the lane because he wasn't really paying attention to his driving. No big deal for him because he's in a dump truck, right? Who cares? So frustrating. But, you know, someday these vehicles will be driven by the computer and it won't require the humans to pay attention. And I'm thinking, right this minute, I'm definitely thinking that'll be for the better. I need to be downtown to pick up Johnny within the hour. It's a little debatable as to exactly what the best time was going to be today, since they were doing that cancer relay walk this morning. I can probably afford 15 to 30 minutes here. That's what I'm trying to say. I was gonna see if I could park on the end here. Save my knee a little bit today. I bought one piece of clothing and that's it. I was in there about 15 minutes. And yeah, no jewelry, no Christmas stuff I wanted, nada. There was another shopper in there today and they were coughing and coughing and coughing, and I felt really uncomfortable, and I need to put a mask back in my backpack, because my purse, because I'm not wearing one in every time, and in those conditions I absolutely want the ability to put it on. I wish I had worn it in. And I stayed away from the person, but I don't think they had a mask on, and I don't know if they were sick or contagious or just had some sort of a cough, but you know, in these days it kind of makes folks feel a little uncomfortable. So yeah, hopefully I didn't catch anything. I know one cough can throw stuff in the air for really far away, but I wasn't within 30 feet of them, so hopefully we'll keep our fingers crossed. That, and I'm trying to take good care of myself, so hopefully I won't catch it, or if I do catch something, it won't be prolonged. About 3 weeks ago, I filled out a survey with the from the receipt from my trip into Walmart Fuquay, and I told the manager how it was. I never heard anything, by the way, not a peep. And today there's a post on the Ladies of Fuquay Arena with a picture, and it's at 44 comments now. I'm sure the admins will turn it off. You know, they like to micromanage the conversation on Facebook sometimes. Make sure other posts get seen, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what started happening is all these other people that had photos on their camera roll of things they had taken in there that were an absolute disaster at the Fuquay Walmart, were posting it, and there was just basically this consensus that it's not safe to go in that store, and Dawn and I have agreed Black Friday weekend, we won't be going into the at least not the Fuquay Walmart. I can't imagine what I would want that Walmart would have this year for Black Friday. Walmart was never my biggest Black Friday destination anyway. And I don't know. I think that store is so bad right now that they can't even have Black Friday. I think they just shouldn't open. You know, when they bring out the Black Friday pallets, you can see the Tupperware and the Corelle and the stuff. You can see it, and it's shrink wrapped, you know, not to be cut until the actual Black Friday shopping starts, right? Well, this stuff that's out in the store is in all these boxes. They're haphazardly piled. They're not on a pallet. They're just regular merchandise. And some of the groceries and whatever are neat and ordered, but some of the things in other parts of the store are not. The garden center in that store is closed right now and is basically floor to ceiling boxes, and it's a bunch of the Christmas lights and things. Like, don't go to that Walmart if you're trying to actually buy something for your Christmas tree, because they haven't put those things out. Somebody said that, you know, Garner and Holly Springs are generally better. I don't know that I'm going to agree with that. However, somebody whose son works at the Holly Springs Walmart said that, you know, basically that store looked the same as Fuquay, but they came in and they removed all the boxes back to the back. And so nobody can put anything out because they can't find anything because it's like in a box somewhere. So, you know, they got all this stuff keeps on arriving and they don't have anybody to put it out. And the more that arrives, the more they can't walk around to find stuff to put out, to even have a clue as to what they should. I mean, it's just a disaster. So, I really feel like it's just saying no to any Thanksgiving weekend shopping at the local Walmart. To say that I'd never go in there again is probably, you know that's not going to happen, right? But I can certainly avoid it for a few weeks. And yeah, if I really need something local, maybe I'll drive to Target. Well, it's nice and sunny and 59 now. I usually like to get off at 299 Person Street, but the road's closed. I'm not sure if the whole exit's going to be closed or what the deal is. Maybe you can go south on Person Street, but not north. At any point, I'll be getting off at 300 Rock Quarry Road. I just kind of like Person Street better. Letting you off, but it really did say there was a closure. Maybe you can get up closer to the city and then you have to switch. Oh wow, they switched us over. Yeah, this asphalt right here has not really been fixed up very nice, so I'm a little surprised that they moved us. I wonder what the rush was. Why not get it perfect over here and then move us? Instead of having to close lanes down in the future to do another round of paving. I don't understand what the rush was. Well, the sun really was out for a while, but we're back cloudy again. I'm gonna make a quick stop at Harris Teeter. Hopefully it's not too crowded. And I've had autopilot every drive today. Okay, I guess maybe I don't really want to go into Harris Teeter. I don't know that I can handle that. Maybe Don will come back and drop me off and I can run in. We did talk about that this morning, so I guess you're not going to have to wait on me in Harris Teeter, Johnny, because I can't deal with it. Did you find some wrapping paper?
Yeah, right. Wrapping paper.
Thanks for helping me out. Get JB his one thing he forgot down to him. I appreciate it if you'll help.
Really? We gotta send this to him?
Yeah, JB didn't know when he asked me that going to the post office. I would almost rather clean the toilet.
Right.
I mean, I just don't like going to the post office, but JB is so worth it, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, is this just chocolate powder or?
It's protein powder. Well, the deal is he promised Susie he wouldn't forget that jar and the powder.
Oh, okay.
So
really we're sitting in the jar.
we're getting him out of trouble with Susie.
Gotcha. No
It's more important than the jar or the contents of the jar.
It's going to cost me $10 to send him this jar.
I know. Maybe we could ask Susie what protein powder it is and just send another jug of protein powder. Amazon Prime delivers. Cool shirt you got at the relay walk today, right? It says leadership through service and the school name. And Marty, look at how cute Marty is. Oh, Mart. Don and I are tooling around town in Jules, and we got JB's package mailed off, and no elf stamps left at the post office.
We got JB's package mailed off? We?
That was mean. I offered to go in. I also am the one that found the box, saved the box, and it was exactly the perfect box too.
It was a very nice box for the purpose at hand. The only thing it could be done if it had a $10 discount, because it was $7.55.
Can't mail anything anymore.
$4.80 is the minimum.
Yeah, but unless you're Amazon, you can't move anything around for cheap.
Yeah.
Don's gonna nap, and I'm gonna go in Guardian Angel and shop for a minute or 2 or 30. Found a mermaid for Michelle. It's a salt and pepper set. It was sold at Cracker Barrel apparently. I found a Corel pattern I don't have. You know what makes bread fun to eat? Butter. No Legos, but I did find several items that I'm glad I found. I tried to stay gone long enough so that you could have a nap, but wouldn't be wondering where I was. A good happy medium there. I tried.
You did good. Yeah, had me a little snooze, and you know, the car is nice and comfy out here. Everything's good, quiet. I miss my girl.
Aw. Are you going to check for presents?
That's right. Going to check for presents.
I have 1 or 2 Lego things coming, but I doubt, but not today.
Right.
Or brick orders, not kit orders.
Sure. I have a leaf stuck in the wheel.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it sounds funny.
Like the thing with the little card, you used to put the clothespin
in
the card on your bicycle spokes. That's basically what it's doing.
Well, you know what else is going on? I think you need some air.
You think I need air in my tire?
Yeah, your tire doesn't have enough.
It turned cold weather and all my tires are underinflated.
I can see that it's underinflated.
Okay. Well, I guess I could do that.
Yeah, you should. Make sure you're safe in it. Maybe you can clear that horrible noise at the same time. I just dropped Johnny off at Taekwondo. Not sure what I'm gonna do because I really don't want to go to the Walmart. And I don't know, I'm not feeling super motivated to go down to Kohl's, and I don't really just want to sit here in the parking lot. There's no Triangle Tesla meetup tonight to join, so I don't know. I could just play Pokemon. As Dawn was reminded last night, if you go back home, you really only have about 15 minutes. Maybe I could walk in Tractor Supply for a minute. Yeah, Tractor Supply looks like they have fun Christmas stuff in the garden center area that they built this summer. So, yeah, I guess I'll walk in here for a minute and go from there. I would love to put a dwarf Alberta spruce on either side of the garage, but not at $50 a piece. I ended up getting 1 Christmas present for Johnny and 1 Christmas present for Dawn. Obviously, I didn't record what those were. They had some really nice, fresh cut tabletop Christmas trees for $20 in there, mounted and everything. That was a good deal, I think, if you were someone that didn't want to or couldn't manage a larger tree but still wanted fresh